1. Taking up arms. Is this what hell on earth would look like? The sky was filled with black clouds that loomed over the blood-stained land, echoing with screams and covered in ash and filth. The monarchs, born in darkness and bred only for destruction, were erasing every trace of light across the land. Their leader, the Dragon King, stood atop the city of ashes and scanned his surroundings. Where did he run off to? When the Shadow Monarch used his perception and revealed his presence, the Dragon King had assumed it was a declaration of war. His heart, which seemed to have turned to stone while wandering the gap between dimensions, began hammering in his chest again for the first time in ages. Only a few opponents in existence could ever pose a threat to him, and now that one of them had bared their teeth, the real war was at hand. The madness of both sides of a war clashing was a veritable gift to the Monarch of Destruction. The joy it brought him was incomparable. However, against his expectations, the Shadow Monarch concealed himself once more, and hadn't returned despite one of the human countries being completely wiped out. Of course, it would have been suicidal to attack with a little over 100,000 soldiers when the combined forces of the world of chaos boasted an army of 10 million. But the Shadow Monarch wouldn't have threatened the Dragon King and risked revealing his location if he'd been planning to run away from the start. What is he waiting for? As time went on, the Dragon King's anxiety grew. Not knowing where or when the Shadow Monarch would attack, he had no choice but to move his army with caution, which naturally slowed his advance. It was quite aggravating, as he'd wanted to rid the battlefield of the human vermin and prepare to engage in battle with the rulers. By any chance, is he looking to have his kind annihilated in order to turn them into soldiers? Regardless, the Shadow Monarch surely knew that recruiting humans who didn't know how to wield mana wouldn't be much help against the army of destruction. At that moment, a voice interrupted his musings. Humans are approaching, my lord. One of his ancient dragon bodyguards informed him of an attack. The Dragon King was under the impression that all the humans in this country who could use mana, the so-called hunters, had already been taken care of. The puzzled monarch looked up to see countless missiles raining down. Krakoom! It was a pitifully insignificant last-ditch effort from such pathetic creatures. The pesky humans refused to accept their fate, even though they knew that their monolith weapons wouldn't harm a hair on magic beasts. How boring. The Dragon King's eyebrow twitched as his anxiety turned into annoyance, then anger. No one interfere. After issuing a warning to his soldiers, the Dragon King revealed his true form for the first time since arriving on Earth. The pilots who had risked their lives to delay the magic beasts for a moment longer were petrified upon seeing the humongous threat filling the entire sky. Oh no! Their shock didn't last very long. A breath of pure destruction shot out of his mouth and engulfed all the fighter planes. Foom! A single minute. The pilots gave their lives in vain for less than a minute of time. Seemingly unsatisfied with their sacrifice, the Dragon King raised his head to the sky and let out a terrifying roar, a declaration of war to the Shadow Monarch. Jinwoo opened his eyes when he heard the Dragon King's roar. It's time. He'd been organizing his thoughts within the white castle Beru had built him. Darkness and silence had settled over the unnecessarily large room. He found that he didn't mind the solitude in the desolate space and felt guilty for previously scolding Beru about its construction. He softly called out, Thanks, Beru. Beru, who had been soundlessly waiting in Jinwoo's shadow, now poked out his head. My king. I know. Jinwoo cut Beru off. Belian rose next to Beru. It is too dangerous, my lord. Egress followed after them like he'd been waiting for his chance to do so, kneeling and bowing his head. I agree, my lord. Jinwoo gazed at the three marshals trying to dissuade him. Since shadow soldiers wouldn't die as long as their master was alive, their top priority was Jinwoo's safety. However, there were times one had to take the bull by the horns despite knowing the risks. And for Jinwoo, the time had come. Ashbourne, the previous Shadow Monarch,